الرحيم. بناتي الطالبات، أبنائي الطلاب، الأسرة المصرية العظيمة العريقة، سلام الله عليكم ورحمته وبركاته. أتمنى لكم كل سداد وتوفيق في هذه الأيام، وأتمنى أن نلتزم جميعا بتعليمات السلامة والأمان حتى يرفع الله عنا شر هذه الجائحة وشر هذا البلاء وشر هذا الوباء. أتمنى لكم جميعا السلامة، وأشكر القيادة السياسية التي أثبتت جدارة لا تضاهيها جدارة في العالم في الموجة الأولى لهذه الجائحة. أتمنى لهذه القيادة التوفيق في قيادة هذا البلد الآمن. آمين آمين آمين. وبعد. Today's lesson is irregular comparisons. Irregular comparisons. You might be familiar with what we call regular comparisons. That is to say, we have what we call a positive or absolute form. We can say he is tall, but then we can compare by saying he is taller than someone else. Then we can say he is the tallest student in class. So these are what we call regular comparisons. This is more important than that, and this is the most important of all. So we regularly use ER, EST, the suffixes ER, EST, the suffix ER with than, like taller than, and the suffix EST with the. And then with polysyllabic words, that is to say, words made up of more than 2 or 3 syllables, we can use more and most, more than and the most. However, in English, there are cases of what we call irregular comparisons. Here are some examples. Of course, we have positive form, we have comparative form, and then we have superlative form. Compare these examples. If I give you the positive form, I can ask you to give me the comparative and the superlative. Bad, the comparative for bad is worse, worse than, the worst. Badly, worse than, and the worst. Far for distance is farther than and the farthest. But far for extent, further than and the furthest. Good, better, better than, and the best. Ill, worse than, versus the worst. Late, later than, the latest or the last. Less, lesser than, and the least. Then we have little for amount, less, the least. Less than for amount. I want you to compare less and lesser and the least with little for amount, less and the least. Again, many, more, most. We say many and more than and the most, exactly as we use it with much, more than, and the most. Again, well, better, the best. So, to wrap up, here are 3 cases: positive, comparative, superlative. You're familiar with the positive. I can ask you to supply the comparative and the superlative. I can give you bad, badly, far, far, good, ill, late, less, little, many, much, well, and ask you to give either the comparative or the superlative or both. So, once you're asked to give the comparative, you're going to say bad worse, badly worse, far farther, far further, good better, ill worse, late later, less lesser, little less, many more, much more, well better. If you're asked to give the superlative, then you're going to say bad worst, badly worst, far farthest, far furthest, good best, ill worst, late latest or last, less least, little least, many most, much most, well best. Thank you.